Hello, Nardath here with another Daily Flip. Today we're going to be talking about battling and how it's changed throughout the years, and different types of competitions that were had on different websites, and just to give a little history on how we used to have battles on Flipping Arena and balisong techniques and Jersey Devil and now Instagram and Facebook. So I want to start to where balisong battles to me I think started was the Flipping Arena. So Flipping Arena had this thing called the ladder. So actually had a noob ladder which consisted of all the beginners, and then a reg ladder, like a regular people ladder, basically like varsity and junior varsity, and so it worked on a win-loss basis, and basically every win would bring you higher up on the ladder, and at the top of the ladder you would find Slash, basically followed by Stu or Fake, or a couple people there that were riding second for a long time, Dave. But when I was around, it was you either challenge someone and the person either accepts the challenge, and you would set your rules. So you would set a time limit, a due date, any restrictions. So like a theme, like if it was an aerial battle or if it was a twirling battle. Or I liked themes when I was especially when I first started. So it would be like no aerial challenge or strictly aerial challenge or something like that. But you could set whatever conditions. You can sit. I remember you had to call it whether it was going to be blind or not. So if you had a due date for a week after the challenge was accepted, you weren't allowed to show the video, publish the video until the due date, and it was posted until you posted on the website, on the forum, right? So that's how it was back then. Every year on Flipping Arena, there was a thing called FATOC, Flipping Arena Tournament of Champions. Basically consisted of a five round event. So every week, let's say the first Sunday of the competition, the first theme would be announced, whether it was aerials or doubles or transfers or whatever. It'd be 5 different rounds. So the first Sunday, the theme was announced and the vids weren't due the next Sunday. And then the next Sunday, the videos would be posted. You would have to the next Sunday to vote. Everyone would vote, other competitor, whoever was members of the community on Flipping Arena. So you just had to vote every round on your. I think it changed every year, but I think you were allowed to vote 3 per round. So there was a fair amount of votes, and the votes, if you get first in that round, you would get a certain amount of points, second, third, and at every round there was 5 rounds. So every week you would have to think about a routine, post a routine in 1 week, and it was a 5-round event, and it was a fair amount of work. Like if you were neither bit busy during that time, you would mess around. You wouldn't be able to compete or win. First year I did it, 2011, I got 3rd. Bit of controversy over mine because there was a member who was allegedly created new accounts and not falsified, but made votes from the same IP address, like 2 or 3 accounts. So anyways, it screwed up a couple of votes, and turns out he was voting for me, himself, and someone else all the time, and Fake should have probably gotten 3rd, and I got 3rd instead. That's the year Slash and Vince tied for 1st. Who won 2nd? I can't remember who won 2nd that year, but I got 3rd. So then, like, Flipping Arena had this own thing, and then Jersey Devil came around, and they had a voting system where you can just vote, and they would host, like, the beginning would host like team events, or like so they would pair up a few people and then we would make a video collab, and that's what would get voted. Or I participated in a Jersey Devil event. It was aerials, and it was multiple clips. There was kind of no real. Yeah, it had some some traction. Like had a lot of voters. A lot of people played in them, and then there was a couple of other ones like on the Jersey Devil where it was like a video a month. It was like Flipper of the Year. I think Wiggs took that one. I can't really remember the Jersey Devil competitions. I participated in a few, but Jersey Devils to me was a bit more about the knives, less about the flipping, but to each his own. And then there was Balisong Techniques, right? Balisong Techniques was Vincent Dark's creation. He had a lot of cool events there hosted on that website. He had Friday night flips, or Friday night fights. So basically he would choose a theme like, I don't know, stalls or service spins or whatever, and then you'd say you have to do 3 clips, and it was do that Friday, and he would post it and people would vote, and it had so long to vote, and then you wouldn't. The victor of the Friday night fight got to pick the theme for the next one. So whether it was bumps or reflips or Van Goghs or it was a whole bunch of cool stuff. A couple of cool Friday night fights that happened. Another one that happened I think once or twice was this thing called Fighting Lines. Fighting Lines was basically you had a set of tricks that you just had to find a cool order and a cool way to make them match together. Like it was behind the back, under the leg, and then Van Gogh, right? And you had to make a routine out of it, out of these certain tricks, and whoever had the best routine won, basically. There's a couple of these battles where it was just me, like Vincent Dark and Matt, Son of the Bong, or Matt Diem, and like it was. Sometimes you really need creativity to be to participate in those like battles to feel like you stood a chance. But I feel like nowadays, if battles were like that to happen, a lot more people would participate, and you would see a lot of cool stuff coming out, right? Because Balisong Technique is really about pushing the envelope when it comes to flipping and all that stuff. So it was, it's really a shame that it's gone, and still sad. Like rip BT. None of that says that we can't host. We hosted a judge competition on BT recently. I kind of took lead on it, and honestly wasn't really we tried to push the envelope on that one when it comes to maybe get a couple sponsors, but I mean ultimately it's a lot of work, and I wasn't really ready to host huge events like that, but hopefully that'll change eventually. Maybe we can host competitions on Balisong Techniques or on BRS website. We got stuff on the go. Me and BRS are got some stuff behind the doors that we're gonna potentially do some flash comps on BT and on their account. It should be really fun. Keep your hot. Everyone keep posted. I mean, especially when it's gonna get close to Blade, we're gonna be advertising it and do some cool stuff with all that. So a couple, so there. Speaking of flash battles on Instagram, so there's another nowadays there's been some competitions on Instagram where people would just vote. You post a clip and people just vote, and it doesn't. It gets a lot of traction. It doesn't. There's no real. It's just for fun. Nowadays there's no real ladder. There's no real structure to battles anymore. It's just who can beat who, and have fun with it at the same time, and maybe get some followers out of it. A cool game we used to play on Skype was kind of like Bally or Horse. Like the Kendama community has a very popular game. Same idea. It's kind of like it's called Dama or Kendama. Same thing. But we used to play Bally. So BALI. We would play over video, Skype video or tiny chat back then, and I would say, oh, double scissor. So I would do double scissor, and then person has to land the same trick, and if he lands, then he gets to set a new trick. Or if I set and you match, then I get to set the next trick. If I fail to set, then it's your turn to set. And then if you set, then I have to match. You know, and like, you know, basically that's how it works. Kind of like horse at basketball. That was a fun game we used to play. I've played, and I've seen people play add-on, where you say, all right, the first trick is this, and then you add an aerial to it, and then the next person. That's kind of like a climbing game. It's called add-on, where you set 3 holds, and then the next climber comes behind you and then sets three more holds to that one, and then it becomes like a problem where you can start and finish. Same idea with balisong. Same idea where you start with one trick and you go into the next, go into the next, go into the next. Now, obviously, the big trend is live competitions, where, you know, there's California happening now, Bali Royale that happened in Blade next year. That's where any real sport will eventually go in, is live competitions, right? Like most extreme sport competitions already have live competitions, where, you know, like motocross, snowboard, ski, skateboard, kendama has it now. Same idea. So live competition is really the true test of skills. So people, I think last year it was all about judging, right? Like I think this year I'll be part of the organization. I'll have a say on how we want the competitions to be ran. It would be really fun to have a system that's on judges. I think last year, I wasn't there last year, so I don't really know how it happened, but anyways, I don't want to make 2 clips out of this, so I'm gonna let you guys go. Comment on stuff that I maybe forget, right? Have a nice day, everyone.